Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new adventure about the 24 solo terms of China. I'm Judy from Zhejiang Chinese Medical University, and in this kind of time, I will show you the special period of China and a special knowledge about our China. Before our new chapter, I want to introduce you several knowledges about astronomy. Look about this kind of picture. We can find the Earth is circulating around the Sun. And between the angle between these two planets, we can find on our Earth, they will have several different kind of seasons and also have different kind of manifestation in this season. But with the changing of our Earth, sometimes we can have the summertime very hot, some was very cold. And that is about the four seasons come, and how to classify them, and how our Chinese people to classify them. Come with me, I will show you all those kind of knowledges. And after that, I want to give you a brief introduction about our China 24 solar terms. And this is a kind of knowledge in China of time and practice, developed through observation of the sun and annual motions. It was first included in the calendar in 104 BC during Western Han Dynasty, which is called Tai Chu Li. This kind of calendar of solar terms has been used for 2,000 years, and it's still directing the agriculture production and daily routines of our Chinese people. And we should know that this kind of the 24 solar terms provide detailed guidelines and a timetable for agriculture activities. For example, like the barley on cold dew, that is Han Lu, and sell the beans on forest in the Shuangjiang. The themes of 24 solar terms are also popular quoted in China portraits. I like the bright and clear Qingming around the winter solstice. They are all written by Du Fu, a very famous portraits in the Tang Dynasty. With more extensive cultural exchanges, the 24 solar terms have been made known to people in other parts of the world and deservedly added to the UNESCO World Intangible Cultural Heritage listed in 2016. And you can see this is about the English translation about these 24 solar terms. Each angle is different, and the sun with the earth, they will have different classification, and they all have a very beautiful Chinese name. With this, we can say we will come to today the first term about springtime. This season, I think you may firstly should know what is a spring in our China. Spring, it is also pronounced Chun in Chinese language. Its original meaning is the seeds of plants took root and germinates. As time goes by, spring was used as the name of the first season among the four seasons. Spring sunshine was warm. All things in nature were nourished. So look about this picture. Like the chun at the very beginning, it's just like the tiny roots, the seed coming out, and then step by step grow into a big tree. So we can find from ancient time, they are the grass, they are the tree, they are the tiny buds, right? So they are step by step, and they wanted to emphasize the importance of the sun. So they put in the 日 in this place. And the topic of today, that is the 24 solar terms of spring. And the first one, I want to show you the menu of here. They are including 6 terms. The first one is called Li Chun, beginning of spring, or we call it the start of spring. Second one, Yu Shui, running water. There's an increasing rainfall from then on. And Jing Zhe, these two words may be a little bit difficult for you, but it means about the thunder begins and the hibernating insects are waking up. And the fourth, Chun Fen, that is the special time for this season, and it reflects the sun and the earth is in a kind of equal situation. It's like the day and night are totally equal. The fifth, that is called a Qingming, it also has another name. It's called a Tumber Sweeping Day Festival. So it also has a name called the Pure Brightness Festival. And the last one is Gu Yu, and its earlier crops show their shoots. So that means you can see the harvest in the future. So with these 6, let me introduce them one by one. The first one is called Li Chun, spring begins. And I want to show this picture again. There has a kind of 24 different kind of the position among here. And you can see this red line. This means the beginning of spring. Li Chun, the sun and the earth is in this kind of angle. It's almost in the February. And the characteristic about this period, we can say, firstly, Li, it means standing. For example, I'm standing here. 我站立在这里. But it also has another meaning. It means beginning, or we call it the starting, start. Li Chun, it also has another Chinese name. It's called Li Chun Jie, 正月节, 睡节, 睡蛋. That is all to telling us it's the beginning of a year. It's a new beginning. And so as we know, spring means warmth, spring means growth. So a year's plan starts with a spring. And we always want to say, I want to become a plan at the beginning of the year. The date of this turn, that is always around like the February 3rd to 5th. And the custom in China, you will find the people or with their family, they want to go to outside of the door. It's called a spring outings, or we call it like the Ta Chun. Ta, it means using the feet to step on the grass. Ta Chun. And also we were holding about several ceremonies to welcome the spring. For farmers, they were going to try to starting their farming time. Look about this kind of picture. And you can see the farmer, they are taking the ox coming out, or the cow. They are began to pulling about the earth. And the kids, they are playing and having fun in here. Also flying the cats, enjoy their fruits. And all those is a good wish. The people wanted to have a very brilliant, the new start of this year. And from this one, we can say, Li Chun, if we have a good beginning, we will have a good wish, right? And the second term, that is called Yu Shui. You can throw the word to find it out. It means the rain, and it means a lot of water. And it is the second solo term in here. Yu, in our China, that means the water following through the cloud. It is from the 说文解字. And has 2 meanings in here. The first one of 雨水 means the weather is warming up with gradually more rainwater. The second means the snowfall is reducing while the rainfall is gradually increasing. So look about this kind of picture. You can see at the very beginning, the rain is just like the drops, the water drops falling. After that, in this kind of special time, our Chinese people also have some food suggestion. They were taking some nutrients, porridge, or we could say some special fruit. For example, like the honey, this is also a very good things which can tonify our body. And the 大枣, the red dates, very sweet, good for your digestion. And the 甘蔗, the Chinese name is called the sugar cane. I think in the wintertime, we're also eating this fruit. Besides this, we also have some like the herbal cushion suggestion. This is called a 四神汤. They're including 山药, 莲子. What is 莲子? 莲子, that is the seeds of the lotus. 芡实, 茯苓. And let me show you this kind of picture. You can find them, they are all in here. Of course, here also including some 薏仁, which is very good about eliminate the dampness through your body. After we're boiling it, it will turning like this. And people prefer to eating it, drinking it. and good for their healthy. So after 雨水, that is a very special term that is called 惊蛰. And you will find why it has a name like this. So complicated name. Let me show you. 惊, it means the starting. And 蛰, it means about all the insects which are hiding under the earth. They will wake up. And even the snakes were coming out of the earth, coming out of their holes. And at this time, we will find the weather warming up with a spring thunder occasionally. And the climate manifests as the increasing amount of rainwater, sometimes cold, but sometimes the weather shows it's hot. And you know China is very huge. The north and the south also has different kind of manifestation in those solar terms. And the date of this term, that is almost in March, the 5th, 6th, or 7th. And because all the insects are coming out from the earth, and to kill all the insect pests, of course, they were going to do the spring plowing. So we will find there are also some special customs in here. In this time, farmers are busy, but for the kids, for the other people, what are we going to do? And maybe you will feel how and why we should eat this in here. Because, you know, after one winter time, we're eating a lot of maybe the hot pot, or a lot of soup, or a lot of meat. So we thought we should balance our body. So this kind of here at this time has a lot of juicy and also very sweet. It can moisten the lung to arrest a coughing, and therefore pills are highly recommended during the awakening of the insects in this kind of a special period. But some people, I should say, if you always have diarrhea and your digestion was not so good, maybe some people will say your spleen or stomach was not so strong enough, taking this seldomly. So we should balance our body from the nature, but also from your self-constitution. After that, we come to a very important term, or we call it the very special period. This is called 春分. This is the fourth solar term in springtime. 春分, there has an ancient this kind of the saying, description. In China, it was divided into 3 periods. In the first period, 原鸟至, that means the swallows would flying back from the south. The second, that is 雷乃发声. There would be a lot of thunders. And the last one is called 始电. 电, of course, you can see the lighting during the raining time or the thunder time. So all those kind of description is showing us a kind of picture. The thunder and the lighting of springtime. And of course, lots of rains. In this time, I want to say 春, I think you know that is a spring. 分, it means half. Because in this special period, the daytime and nighttime almost are the same. Why I should say like this? Because you know, in the winter time, we will find the night seems longer and the daytime seems shortened, right? But during this time, and of course in the autumn, there also has this kind of the special period. The daytime and nighttime are very average, or we call almost the same. And the climate shows in different. In the north, they'll have lots of the spring droughts, dusty day, especially like in Beijing, in the middle of China, or in the Tianjin. In this area, you will find a lot of a dusty day. I think some students, if you've been to Beijing, you will have this kind of the experience. But in the south, we still can find in the later spring coldness, and even with a low temperature. And we have a saying, at this period, maybe it's raining outside, the thunder showing about the beginning of the spring, but we should still wearing a lot of clothes to entering the cold from outside. And this time is during the March the 20th, 21st, and the 22nd. And the traditional food in here is spring vegetable, or we call the 春菜. That means the special vegetable from the wild in the springtime. And also we have very special customs, like the spring orange-shaped rats, and also the kids will go outside to fly the kite. And also a very interesting activity that is called erecting the eggs. And also, of course, we will go into outside to see about the bloomings. Farmers in this time, they were going to erecting the crops and the seeding. Maybe you were confused how to erecting the egg. Look about here. In this time, we have a custom to say, if you can erecting the egg directly and letting it standing on the desk, and that means you will got the good lucky for this whole year. So the kids and all the people, they want all using this one. Of course, you cannot using the boiled egg. We always using the raw one. Besides this, we will suggest the people go to outside to enjoy the springtime. The kids, they are going to fly in the kite. And if you go to Shandong province of China, you will find lots of the special kites you will find in there. Very amazing. I wish you can go there in this springtime. They have become a festival now. And beside that, of course, we should have some special food. This is a 春菜. That is using a kind of the grass from the wild and also taking it, washing it, fry it with eggs. Sometimes we always boil it with fish into soup, and people drinking it, and they think it can clean the inside the body and also can keep healthy for the whole family. Besides this, in different provinces, in different kind of areas, people have their tiny different customs. But if you have the opportunity to come to China, I wish you can traveling in China, you will find different kind of customs and different delicious food. So after Chunfen, there comes to a very important festival, but also a solo term of China. That is called Qingming. Words to words translation is called clear and bright. And this is the fifth solo term. In this term, you will find also have 3 periods. The first one, 同时花, that is the white tongue-flower blooming. Second, 田鼠化为奴, that means all the overcast walls are hidden back to the underground. And the third period, 红始见, the rainbow shows up in the sky. And this time, Qingming, it is a very important festival for our Chinese people, even had the same level as the Spring Festival. And during this time, people prefer, especially like in the south part, we are going to eating some green rice dumpling. It's different from the north dumpling. Of course, some sticky rice mixed with the lotus root. It's sweet and very delicious. And there has a very important custom. That is, we worship ceremony for our ancestors. And in this time, I want to give you several tips about this festival. It is a kind of traditional festival in China, as well as one of the most important festivals to worship the ancestors and swing the tombs. So we can say Qingming Festival, Dragon Boat Festival, Spring Festival, and Mid-Autumn Festival. They are called the 4 traditional festivals in China, or we call the top 4 festivals. This festival is not only a natural solo term, but also a traditional festival. Both the Han and the minority ethnic groups at this time, always we were going to worship our ancestors and we're going to sweep their tombs. And especially, I want to say, in this time, we are no cooking, but only eating some cold food. And why? This is because we wanted to worship a very famous ancestor, because he wanted to show their loyalty to his country and to his family. He refused to go outside to working in the new government or service another masters. And he is diving in the forest. So as time goes by, people wanted to worship him and also worship their ancestors. So we are no cooking, no fire in this day, only eating some cold food which we prepared yesterday. So in here, let me show you, this is the special green rice dumpling, or we call the green rice pan. This is typically the inside. There is about some red bean, and you maybe say how this green color come from. They are come from this grass. This grass is called hao. It's a very special grass in China. You can find it in this springtime. People cut the bottom of this one, the soft part, and squeeze it and letting the juice mix with the rice, with the flour, and after that, rolling it into round one. Or this is a sweet type, or we're putting some like the vegetable and other things, that is a salted one. They are all famous in Zhejiang. And my auntie, they are very good about doing those kind of dishes. And I wish you have time to come to and try those things. And now we comes to the last solo tone, that is called gu yu, a very beautiful pronunciation in Chinese language. And this is the sixth solo tone of springtime. Gu yu, it also has several about the lines to describe them. Gu, we should say it is the grain. Yu, it means rain. And why? Because at this time, springtime, they always have a lot of rainfalls. In those periods, you will see about the backgrounds, duckbirds are growing on the pool, and also you can see about some cuckoos, they are preparing their feathers. That means they come outside of the nature. And the last one, there is some special birds will comes to the white, and they are sometimes sitting on the mulberry trees. And in this time, we will find gu yu also will have several tips, or we call it customs. And at this time, we will find it is the end of the cold snap and a quick increase in the temperature. The climate shows obviously increasing in rainfall. And the traditional food in here, it is a special tea. And you know our Chinese people loving teas, different type of tea, black tea, green tea, steamed tea, or even fruit tea. And gu yu tea, this is very special. And the custom in here, on earth, we have not very special ceremony, but for the fishermen, they were going to do some ceremony for the seas. They wanted to, they pride, and in order to have safe sailing and a return fully loaded, the fishermen will host a kind of ceremony on the day of gu yu, praying from the protection from the god of the sea. And at this time, I want to show you about some tea. Look about it here. The tea, this kind of tree is growing in a tiny hill, and the workers, they were going to take about the teas and fry it into about the tea which we drink. And in Zhejiang, in Hangzhou, we always have a very famous tea. It's called Longjing. I think some of you maybe heard. And the best Longjing is called Yuqian Longjing. That is before the gu yu, before raining a lot. They will take the butt of the tea and fry it. It's smelling was very good. And the color also is very clean and like light green. And in Zhejiang, we drink about green tea like this way, but in Guangdong and in Guangxi, those areas, they have a special way to drinking the tea. This is called lei ca. They were putting the fried rice, some vegetable, or some fried beans, and with the teas, they were squeezing them into like the powder, and using the hot water to putting it, and then drinking it. It also has a kind of special tasty and also very famous in the south part of China. So you can see China is so huge. In different period, in different season, in different solo turns, we also have different customers and different food. And I wish you can come and join this kind of adventure by yourself, and you will have different kind of view of our China. And I wish this kind of the spring tower show you a total different China's knowledge of nature. Thank you.